Hey, this is Rick. I'm back, and I have a gentleman, Mr. Colin Demuth, actually, who's head of partner development for Infusion Soft. And just talking to our small business owners members, if you have never heard of Infusion Soft before, and you get a lot of autoresponder copy, you get emails from people that you do business with, these guys are the leaders in email marketing. And I will tell you personally that all the information that you get from us, all the autoresponders, all the messages from me, all the videos, that's all delivered through Infusion Soft. So we're able to maintain our relationship with you, our members, through an application called Infusion Soft. If you have a small business and you actually plan on growing, you have to have an email marketing system. These guys are the leaders in the business. We found Colin here at Continuity Summit, and I want to talk to you. First of all, welcome.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you for all the information you gave yesterday. And for lunch.
Yeah, free pizza, right? There is a free lunch.
And let's talk about you guys. You guys have a concept called follow-up failure.
Yeah.
And let's talk about what follow-up failure means and how we can use it in our business.
Sure. Well, we found that we've consulted with thousands of businesses, and we found that that was the number one, the key concept is they had follow-up failure. And businesses don't know it necessarily. It's just that when you get working in your business and you get caught up in all the routine daily tasks that you've got to do, that all the stuff that you want to be doing, all the follow-up, touching your customers, the relevant information, all that stuff goes by the wayside because you're bogged down in your business. So follow-up failure is so significant, and it happens in so many areas of our business. And sometimes we think about it just in terms of getting a new customer. Okay, what follow-up am I going to have to do once I get a prospect to make that customer, or to make that prospect a client, okay, to convert them. But really, there's so many gaps after the fact. Okay, what about all of the conversion for client for life strategies? Okay, keeping that client forever. After the sale is made, a lot of times we're just so happy that, hey, we made the sale, and then it's done. Yet really, we drop the ball so much after the fact. And it's one of the most significant gaps we have. I didn't even talk about it yesterday. But we actually have, people think of follow-up in terms of, oh, I got to return a phone call, I've got to return an email. But really, we found 4,799 ways, different ways to follow up with people. Okay?
It's really just a keep in touch strategy, isn't it?
Yeah.
What we're talking about.
It is not just keeping in touch, but this is the information age. And because of that, technology makes it easy to throw out messages here, there, and everywhere. But the problem with that, Rick, is that there's no relevance. And so people start ignoring email. And that's the problem. So how do you get your email not only opened, but how do you get it read? And how do you keep people interested over time? And so talking to people as individuals, I mean, you're an individual. If I want to get to know you, it's just like dating. Sometimes, when you meet hopefully your future spouse, you don't just send them a message that's gray and you get married.
It's a courtship.
It's a courtship, and that relevance is really what email marketing should be all about. But people miss that.
And every customer and every prospect actually is in a different conversation, isn't it?
They are.
So they need to be able to almost tailor a conversation that speaks directly to who they are.
Exactly.
So that's what you guys do so well, is segment.
And the best marketers in the world understand that more than anything else. They understand that I'm going to segment and find out your buying behaviors and your personality habits, what you like, what you dislike, and I'm going to put you in these little sectors, and I'm going to follow up accordingly. And if you can do that in an automated fashion, wow, it becomes really powerful because we're bogged down in our business, and we can't do all those things like we want to.
You can, whether you're an online business or an offline business, the same thing applies, right? You have a retail operation, it's the same thing.
Hey, look, I don't care who you are. If 90% of people look for homes on the internet, they're looking for you on the internet. So everyone has to be driven to the web. And if they're driven to the web, you have to find a way to capture customers and then market to them effectively.
So your product is not your product. The product becomes you and your business.
Yeah, it becomes a
experience
relationship.
that they have with you.
Yeah, it becomes a relationship, and people appreciate that. I mean, if my toilet breaks, I get really upset if I don't have somebody that I trust to go look for. I do. I'm like, what happened to that plumber from last year? I haven't heard from him since. And really, if I just heard from him every once in a while, I'd be happy. Oh yeah, that was that plumber. He did a great job. Really appreciate it. Now I've got a relationship with him. I can call him back.
And for me, if I look at my own buying habits, I find that the people that I end up doing business with are the ones that over time have actually raised the temperature, raised by temperature, where it becomes the path of least resistance to do business with them because they've spent time developing a relationship. And they may be larger companies that I've had no physical contact with, but just because they've talked to me in a certain certain way, they've hit my hot buttons, they've done something that has made me go, wow, that's amazing. And I've gone back and wanted to do business for them.
Yeah, you know, we all want to do business with people we like and we trust, and you know, it's back to forming that relationship with your potential spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whatever it might be. And you know, you got to get to know each other. There's that discovery process, and through different means of communication, and it should be multimedia. You know, because you didn't, you know, when you had a date, you just didn't send a bunch of letters. You know, you showed up in person, right? And that's a different, that's multimedia. It's a different element. It's like using video plus text and using them together, it becomes even more powerful.
So give us a 30-second plug on Infusion Soft. What do we need to know as small business owners on Infusion Soft?
Yeah, look, you know, the bottom line is, you know, the economy right now is very similar to the way it was in the 70s. And a great quote from Forbes magazine was that the saving grace from that economy, and it will be again, is that innovation and entrepreneurship were the saving grace, okay? The bottom line is you've got to innovate in your business, because if you don't, everyone else, if you're standing still, everyone else is going to keep moving forward beyond you, okay? And the big businesses that have gone out of business recently are a great example of their complacency. Bottom line, it's just complacency. So you've got to keep moving ahead. We enlist the top marketers, direct marketers, and marketing professionals in the world, and copywriters, and they've built our system. So you've got to have a way to follow up, build relevancy with your clients now and forever. And you've got to have a system that's automated to do that. Otherwise, you can't grow.
Yeah. And I personally,
you get stuck in your business.
As a client, you guys, so there's always the crap moment when you're in the application, you don't know something, and when you call the customer service line at your department of tech support, those guys are unbelievable.
Hey,
it's one of the best. It's one of the best experiences I've had with a piece of any product. So take that back to your guys. Anyway, thank you for being here. It's awesome.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Good luck.
it.
Thanks for the day yesterday.
You bet.